Hello everyone, it's Stray Faye here with another episode of Olympia Soiree. We're continuing Himika's route. We had not super disastrous, but something's going down. Last episode there was an earthquake down in Yomi, serious enough that the leaders had to come down and check things out. Check in with Tsukiyomi, see if everything was okay or if it was just some shifting of the earth. And then Himika mentioned Mother. When talking to Hyrie, not that like Hyrie was his mother, just like he resembled Mother, and Mother was referring to Izanami, the corpse that is down in Shinimizu Spring. Now, out of curiosity, I kind of like just googled Izanami, like in the context of mythology. There's like kind of like parallels with like the Olympian gods and like Japanese gods. There's like the two like first, I guess, gods, Izanami and like Izanagi. They're kind of like in Greek mythology, like how Cronus and Rhea like made like the other gods, like Zeus and all his siblings. In Japanese mythology, it was Izanami and Izanagi made like all the other deities of Japan. And then Izanami was like the goddess of creation and death, which I guess checks out because she is down in Yomi, very much dead as a corpse. A little bit interesting things though, like there's some like terms that like pop up in both like mythology and the game. So when Izanami and Izanagi wanted to like have babies, wanted to mate, they created a giant pillar to heaven called the Ama no Miyashira, and that's like the same thing that like Hiriko is trying to build with like the show, the Ama no Miyashira. So I don't know if there's like some connection there. Is he like trying to reach the gods, trying to mate? I don't know. And then it does mention Izanami and Izanagi's first children were Hiriko and Awashima. But they were considered not deities because they were deformed and they were sent out to sea on boats. Which, okay, Himiko was also sent out to sea on a boat, so like, is he Hiriko? I gotta know. Oh well, it might be like totally different though. It's just like how Okami just kind of names things after like Japanese gods, but like Nagi wasn't actually like Izanagi, he was just like a silly hero. We'll see. Alright, well, enough babbling. Let's start this next chapter. Stay beside me. No letters today. I lowered the lid and fell into thought. I'm still not sure if I should go see Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi at first said it was the mere shifting of the ground. I don't know. I don't think it is. That tremor. It occurred just as a child yelled. I'm certain he's connected to Izanami. Yeah, I think Hyrie's like somehow become like the incarnation. All the hate has like probably summoned like some incarnation of Izanami. If what Himika said is true, that means Tsukiyomi lied to Doma and Lord Jigen. Or that Doma is lying to me. I mean, it could be either way. Maybe it doesn't like, maybe it's like it's useless for them to worry, I guess. Or maybe they just don't want to tell. They just don't want to tell Byakuya, because what's Byakuya gonna do against like a goddess of death? Doubting the people around me only made me feel worse. I stood in front of the letterbox, unsure of what to do. Hey sis! Perfect timing! Could you help me look for someone? Uh-oh. Asaha is Hyrie missing. I could probably guess. Oh, unless you got your deliveries. Don't worry, I don't have any letters at the moment. Really? Then can you help? I'm looking for a guy with a limp leg. Okay, it's not Hyrie. Why? His name's Kengo, and he usually sells ironware at the plaza, but he hasn't been around since yesterday. Oh, Then I'll look for him with you. Really? Thank you. Okay, Kengo. I hope this is not like a string of like mysterious missing people. As I set off with Asaha, I heard whispering voices around us. You don't think Kengo ran up to the surface, do you? Why would he? He's a pretty mild guy. I doubt he has it in him to do a thing like that. I mean, if he has a limp, he's probably not running very far. I hope it's just that he's collapsed from hunger or something. like poor Kaina. Collapsed from hunger? Just like Kaina. The memory of eating Kaina for the first time, and you feel a bit more relaxed when... Kaza. You two, have you seen a young man with a limp around this area? Why are you looking for him? You mean Kengo? We just started searching for him. Oh, and I don't have any letters for you yet. Is that so? My assistant is prepared to review your letters in any case. Seeing the Kotowari director and the deputy director down here didn't bode well. So, okay, it's kind of odd that they're just like looking for a random missing man. I didn't think you'd be searching for him too, Akaza. Is there a problem? No, at least nothing we can confirm yet. It's just been reported that he's gone missing, and he's definitely not the type to get into trouble. So he figured maybe he got caught up with the wrong bunch or something. In that case, I wonder if the military could help as well. Good luck with that. Those guys couldn't care less if one person in Yomi goes missing. Yeah, unless they need to be executed. Then they're very concerned about finding the person. Unfortunately, he's right. I have others from the Kotowari assisting in our search, but your participation would be greatly appreciated. As long as we, like, don't get our nose into trouble. Of course! We'll find him for sure, I know. I know Asaha. Do you remember what he was wearing? I'm pretty sure he was wearing a striped shirt yesterday. Oh, and gray pants too. Nothing too, like, unusual. I mean, like, not like your guys' outfits. Nice, good job. Well, we'll start from that end. We'll meet up later. I sure hope Kengo's alright. He's really nice and he even shares food with me too. I hope he's not hurt or anything. Let's get going then. If he's hurt, then we'll need to help him out quickly. You're right. I shouldn't waste time thinking about the worst. As we turned into the alley, I saw something on the ground. Asa, is that a shirt? Why is his shirt missing? Is he naked? Or did he just... Did he, like, evaporate? Did he get that? No snaps. Did he get Batsu'd? It looks like the one Kengo had on him. Really? Wait here. I'll go get Kuroba and Akaza. Why would his shirt be here like this? I bet if you look a little closer, you might find a little stone. I looked carefully at the shirt and noticed a pair of pants laying haphazardly nearby. Uh-oh. He changed his clothes? But where would he go? Don't tell me he jumped in. I mean, usually when you jump, at least like in the Japanese fashion, you take off your shoes. Not your all your clothes. I carefully made my way to the canal to check, but I didn't see anyone there. Hey, you found his shirt? Where? Kuroba, in front of you. Whoa. They stopped and looked in front of them with scrutinizing gazes. This is Kengo's shirt, I'm sure of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I recognize it too, but why the hell would he take it off here? I would take a little closer look. Is there a rock? Is there a shiny rock nearby? Kuroba crouched down to pick up the shirt. I don't smell any blood and it's not dirty. There's no sign of foul play. Perhaps he took it off voluntarily? We looked at each other. But it's not like he's the type to just strip off his clothes like that. Even if he did have a reason, I presume he has the sense not to return home in that state. Yeah. We looked at each other again. Let me take this back with me. I'll check to see if there's anything on it that'll tell us more. Then we'll be continuing our search, though this situation is highly suspicious. Hi, Riku, we're all here. Akaza, there you are! The air grew tense as Riku ran up to us in a panic. What is it? Don't tell me the military's picked up something. Picked up something? So then, there's been an incident on your side too. A man named Kengo has gone missing, and we've just recovered his clothes here. In Yomi too? What do you mean in Yomi too? The military's issued an arrest warrant for Himika under suspicion of murder. Uh-oh. Okay, are people just getting... People are probably getting batsued, right? It, like... Just like with Riku, they're gonna suspect the person with batsu. Huh? There's a possibility that he killed a man named Kiura of the Blue. I mean, we got into an argument with him. Oh god. Did Hyrie do it? I think maybe Hyrie did it. I mean, he is, like, very bright blue. Hyrie might be hiding power of Batsu. Or if he's... If, like, maybe Izanami is, like, has imparted him power, maybe that's what he's doing? That's how he's getting the power of Batsu? Let's see. Nothing's for sure, but, like, I feel like this is the possibility here. I don't think it's Himika. We made Himika promise. Kiura? Isn't that... According to the reports, it seems that Kiura was involved in an altercation with Himika. You know, it's monstrous folks like you are making our sun fade. That rude person from before. Afterward, a witness reported someone matching Himika's description speaking with Kiura at the Sundial Plaza. Well, just because someone said it doesn't prove anything. Riku made an obvious frown and sighed in an irritated manner. Kiura's clothes were found near the Blue District. I mean, I guess the suspect checks out, right? Like, Himika is probably the only one who can make someone disappear like that quickly. Like, even Riku, it takes time, right? It takes like 30 seconds for him. Huh? Wait. We suspect he may have been killed using Batsu. I only just remembered that Asaha was still with us. He didn't need to know all this. He has the power to transform people into show in an instant. I doubt very many are capable of doing that. Not only that, it seems that Himika has a history of threatening others with his power. I mean, as a bluff, but like, he never went through with it. Say any more and I'll turn you into a show. Of course, they're gonna use his words against him. He must be referring to that. Wait, this is all a misunderstanding. Himiko was only trying to save me at the plaza. Olympia. Have you already forgotten what happened? Not long ago, I had to point my blade at him for the same reason. You were the one who started this, weren't you? I mean, you just kind of came in without any context, but okay. It's no use. Everything's working against Himika right now. He would never abuse his power. We made him promise. He would never abuse his power. Your compassion is unnecessary. It's true that with the current evidence, Himika may be the prime suspect for now. But I'll find the person who's actually responsible. As long as I can prove that Himika isn't involved, you'll accept the evidence, won't you? Will you accept an angry goddess? Akaza, can you get his records? For some reason, the military seems to have no records on him. Surely the Kotori would. Kuroba quickly looked at me. His expression was uncharacteristically uneasy. Look, I'm not trying to say he's behind the murders, but... Kuroba? What is it? Don't keep us in suspense. Himika doesn't have a family register. I mean, you did say he came on a boat as an outsider, so yeah, probably nothing registered there. Huh? Riku, you know as well as I do that every person born on this island must be registered to a color class, no exception. Even Lord Doma and the other outsiders have a family register. Oh. But do they not have a gray color class? But there's no one under the name Himika. Wait, that's... Given his job, I thought he was using an alias. But after checking on it, I couldn't find anyone around his age that matched his description. He might be older than, he might be older than he looks, though. You think, as, the Undertaker, though, they would have that record somewhere, right? He wouldn't just be, some mysterious person. That's... I don't know. Maybe. Since Yomi doesn't have a resident doctor, new registrations are often delayed to some extent. But at his age? Kuroba, how do you know all this? Sorry, I kinda got into your business. Remember how he said he couldn't be your mating partner? I figured I could provide a consultation if it was a medical issue. But there weren't any records at the hospital, so I checked the family registers. Oh. Akaza and Riku were standing there in silence. To be honest, I do have my suspicions. Kuroba! I mean, given that what we know, if Himika's mother is Izanami, he's kind of a deity. He's not gonna have her registered. If these guys just up and vanished, only a select few have the power to make that happen. We've shared a meal together and talked a few times. I doubt he's the type to want to draw attention. Draw attention? If I were the murderer, I would not have left their clothes behind. And if what happened on the surface is related, I would not have left evidence a second time. Yeah, so someone's trying to implicate him then. Right? With this Kira business, it's like someone's trying to lead us to suspect Himika. So they want Himika to be arrested? Is it because he's trying to date us? Or well, I mean, he kind of pushes us away a bit, but is it because Byakuya wants Himika? I mean, I feel like messing with Himika is very dangerous at this point. We don't know much about him. He's probably part deity. So messing with Riku and Kuroba, yeah, they're more easily subdued. I feel like if they go after Himika, he could probably just Thanos snap everyone. And they're just lucky enough to not make him mad enough. Riku of the Blue, you're a gifted Batsu user, right? Which means that there's a chance that you're behind all this. This is no time for jokes. I have already sworn to never use Batsu on the living. I mean, circumstances can change. But if the sole reason he's being suspected is because of Batsu, then you fit the bill too. Unless you can prove your innocence, you're also a suspect. Ugh. Himika lives at Corpse Beach. Would I be betraying him if I told him where he lives? No. Riku, Himika lives on the beach to the north. What? A place like that? I'm not telling you because I suspect him of all of this. I'm giving you this information because I know he didn't do anything. All right, let's not like corner him though. I'm worried. Corpse Beach. Riku, let's say it to the military headquarters first. I'll speak with them so we can nullify the arrest warrant. But I understand he's still a suspect, but at the present we have insufficient evidence to prove he's the perpetrator. Understood. Let's go. Well, that's never stopped, like, the military from just taking action. Not enough evidence, who cares? Akaza looked at Asaha, who stood in stunned silence, and gently patted him on the head. Poor Asaha. I was like, oh god, something's, like, going down. You must be Kuroba's younger brother, Asaha. I'm sorry about all that. We'll work hard to restore safety in Yomi, so you just make sure to stay safe as well. And don't tell anyone aside from Yosuga what you just heard here. Can you promise me that? Oh, at least he's like, go tell Yosuga. Like, I know it must be very hard for a kid to keep a secret like this. Understood. I promise. Asaha, you should go now to tell Yosuga. No one's to wander out alone for the time being. Leave it to me. I'll go right now. Oh, is it alright if I look for Himika too? I assume you would, but please be careful. We haven't established yet that Himika is not the culprit. I'll be going then. I bowed and quickly ran off. No, I thought we were going with them. He's not here. Maybe he's working, or maybe he's at Corpse Beach. Why do we always go to the Sundial Plaza? Hi, Hyrie. Just the person I was wondering about. Hey. Sales were bad today. Buy some Sujiura. I'll take one. Thank you. That tremor. It occurred just as the child yelled. I'm certain he's connected to Izanami. If what Himika said is true... By the way, have you seen Himika? Like, I know. He could be lying dead someplace for all I care. Don't say that. Just thinking about how good he is pisses me off. Ah, the paper in the cookie says I won. Congrats. Here's one more. Huh? That many? I told you no one's bought any today, so you're gonna help me get rid of them. I guess I could share them with Himika and Daifuku. Okay. That's kind of generous to just give me the whole thing. I figured, like, if no one's buying them and if they're going stale, you could probably just pass them out to the kids in Yomi, right? Or will you get in trouble for that? I put the handful of Sujiura in my bag. Unable to hold myself back, I decided to ask. Hyrie, have you ever heard of Izanami? What the hell is that? He doesn't seem bothered by the name. It's nothing. You can just forget about it. I'm asking you what that is. I overheard a drunk customer at Shikinjo mention it. I never heard of it before, so I was only curious. I mean, we could say some mythological. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of weird to be like, hey, Hyrie, have you heard of Izanami? I was just wondering if you're like some sort of angry incarnation of her and it's going to go on a murder rampage. Just asking. I guess I must have heard it wrong. Not only is your head useless, but your ears are too. I'm surprised you haven't died already. Unfortunately for you, I plan on living a long and healthy life. Exactly what a dope like you would say. Well, see ya. Hyrie! I tried to stop him, but some customers came by and approached him. I walked to a nearby bench to watch him. Himika's lack of confidence was one thing, but Hyrie seems to lack concern for life completely. I didn't know his exact age, but he seemed to be in his mid-teens. Yet his future was bleak and full of despair. He looked like any other child. There's nothing about him that would connect him to that spring. Except, yeah, just the anger part. I gave a heavy sigh. Byakuya. Oh, nice to see you pop up. Please, let me talk. There's something I need to tell you. I must ask you to leave here and take a carriage to Corpse Beach. I'll meet you there separately. Okay. Separately? Himika, I'm here! Where are you? Corpse Beach was quiet as usual. If it weren't for the dark, billowing smoke, this would be a vibrant place full of beautiful flowers. What a relief. You've made it. Sounds like he already knows what's going on. I didn't kill Kengo or Kiwura. I know I threatened them, but that's it. I took Himika's hand in mine. There's no way that someone who treats the dead with such respect would kill anyone. But everyone's out looking for you now. I know. Himika, is there anything I can do for you? We have to give him proof that you have nothing to do with the disappearances. To be honest, I'm not sure what to do myself. All I know that we can't leave things the way they are in the moment. Himika, will you tell me everything you know? Don't worry, I won't share it with anyone. I know. I know you're not the kind of person to tell a secret, but... Himika looked down when... Suddenly a large drop of rain fell on my head. Rain! Oh, suddenly... Ah! The scattered droplets suddenly turned into a downpour and I felt myself getting drenched, even under my jacket. Hurry, let's go to my place. Oh, going to the Love Shack. Well, different Love Shack. The Bone Shack. Thank you. I hope like Akaza and Riku don't just like pop up like suddenly, because we did tell them he was here. He lived here. This would be awkward. I took off my dripping jacket and squeezed the water out. You'd better take everything off quickly. Oh my, okay. Well, we might be getting an audience soon. I'm not sure about that. Huh? Huh? Did I say something strange? No, wait. I didn't say that because I wanted to see you nude. Of course not. I mean, you did like how soft I was before. I'm so sorry. Why don't I turn around then? I'm fine like this, but humans can get sick if they stay wet for a long time, right? Humans? Suddenly, Tokisada's words crossed my mind. I really think Himika's another outsider. I mean, he did come on a boat. You might be right. Maybe I can ask him now. You really should take off. I mean, you really should dry yourself. No, you're kidding. Getting all awkward here. No more questions. Well, it is true I can catch a cold like this, and it'd be best if I get my clothes dry soon. Gonna keep our back turned to each other. Oh, in your undies. Well, even if he sees my underwear, I suppose it's no different from a bathing suit. I took off my wet blouse and skirt and hung them over a nearby chair. Why don't you move closer to the fire? You're still cold and wet, right? Then, if you don't mind. I'm sorry, I wish I had something to cover you with. I can use all those animal pelts that you have around. I'm just happy to have my clothes dried. Himiko was thinking of any possible way to make me feel more comfortable, all while dutifully looking in the other direction. In contrast, I couldn't take my eyes off him and his endearing efforts to do his best. Let me bring your clothes closer to the fire. He's so kind. I wanted to do what I could to prove his innocence, but I knew so little about him. Himiko doesn't have a family register. There's no one around to eavesdrop on us. Himiko? A friend of mine told me that maybe you're an outsider. Does that make you scared? I mean, there is a lot of information that just makes him flustered. You told us that you came from a boat. Okay, what dropped? Himiko's gasp was as good as an answer. After pondering to myself, I spoke to him softly. Himiko, I'm sorry if I startled you. It doesn't matter to me whether you're a human or an outsider. Sorry, I clear my throat. The friend who told me was Tokisada of the Green. Do you know of him? I know him. I see him in Yomi a lot. He said he'd like to be friends with you. Huh? He said he doesn't have any outsider friends his age. That's why I wanted to ask you. I see. I'll say it again. I wouldn't change anything about you, whether you're an outsider or not. Himiko kept his head down for a while. Despite the silence, I could sense that he was feeling very confused and terribly lost. Soon, you have the right to know. But telling you everything outright seems so sudden. All this time, I've always kept it secret. Himiko's voice was grave. He didn't show any signs of trying to avoid the subject. But I still want to know. Understood. If that's what you wish, I'll tell you. Himiko took a step closer to me. This world was created with the concept of balance. Sun and moon, light and dark, man and woman, life and death. Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, sleeps in the Ikimizu Spring on Tenyo Island. And in Shinimizu Spring I think you meant Tengu Island, lies Izanami, the goddess of the dark. You heard me speaking to Tsukiyomi last time, right? Oh, we got caught eavesdropping. Sorry. You're curious. I've known Tsukiyomi for a very long time. I'm sorry if that surprised you back then. No, it's fine. Izanami is sealed away in the depths of Shinimizu Spring. If she awakens, Shinimizu Spring will overflow and everyone on Tengu Island will die from Haku. Okay, well that seems a little absolute now, doesn't it? I thought maybe like, yeah, she's just making people disappear. Like, maybe she might, like, reincarnate. Or just, like, incarnate in a person, like, and exact her wrath? But yeah, if, that water starts, like, flooding the place, and yeah, everyone's dead. There's nowhere to run. There's no... I mean, there's tiny islands, but yeah, we're surrounded by whirlpools. She has been sealed away so completely, so carefully that she can never escape. But... at this time, there seems to be a human who possesses Izanami's presence. Are you referring to Hairi? Himiko quietly rubbed the skull beside him. There are 4 powerful wielders of Batsu on this island. 4? I can only think of 2, Riku and him. Shura does not wield Batsu. The first is me. The next is Riku of the Blue. Himiko stopped for a moment, then looked at me. Oh right, we use Batsu, but we can't really control it very well. Yo. Himiko? I was so surprised. I leaned towards him. Sometimes I forget she can use Batsu because she's so adamant about not using it. Although she did use it. She did use it in Yosuka's route. We should not forget that. That was a bad ending. But Himiko's expression was calm as ever. Did you hear about that from Tsukiyomi? And the last is the executioner. Right. Yeah, there is an executioner. Riku became the executioner, but there should be another one before him. The executioner? These Hazushi executions. Have you ever wondered who was responsible for extracting their souls through Tamasogi? Ah. There's nothing unusual about his question. Yeah, that's right. Like, I mean, we know of, like, some lesser ones. They say, like, did they mention there's some other Batsu wielders in the hospital, but, like, their powers are, like, pretty weak. It, like, takes them, like, hours to clean up a corpse. But yeah, we didn't think about, like, the executioner, right? I thought maybe it was just, like, another weaker Batsu user. Where, you know, it, like, takes some hours to execute someone, which seems excruciating, but maybe there is a 4th powerful person that they have not revealed yet. Clearly there was someone who carried out the executions, but it had never occurred to me until now. Who? I stopped as soon as I spoke. Hey, the executioner is the guy from Yomi, right? Himiko, don't tell me that. I can't say for certain because I haven't witnessed it with my own eyes. But based on power alone, I'm sure the real culprit is one of these 4. Like he includes himself as a culprit. We know it's not Byakuya. And I don't think Riku is involved in this route. I don't think he's gonna just pop up and be a villain. I see. Of course, that means it's possible it could be Riku of the Blue or even you. I would never do something like that. I know. Except for Doma. Doma was an accident. We were just a child. At the very least, you have no reason to do such a thing. Not one. Assuming it isn't me, and assuming it isn't Riku. That leaves only one other person. They wouldn't imply Hairi's the executioner, right? Like, they wouldn't just... They wouldn't just let him wander around, though, right? Although it is kind of odd that he has, like, a permit to go up to the surface just to sell, like, newspapers and stuff. It feels so horrible to suspect anyone. But I knew it wasn't us, so it had to be the final person. It felt like we were forcing the guilt of this crime onto a stranger. But who is it? Do you think Akaza or Riku would know? We have both met this person before. Are they really insinuating that the executioner is Hyrie? Would Hyrie... I don't think Hyrie would do something like that, though. Like, it wouldn't be his... Like, it's not his MO. I mean, like, I feel like he's just an angry person because of all, like, the hate you received in Yomi. Why would they make him an executioner to, like, kill more people of Yomi? Himika? We've met him many times. You spoke to him at the Sundial Plaza not long ago. Wait. I staggered back, my hand searching behind me for something to cling to. But there was nothing, and I fell to the floor in a miserable heap. You don't mean... It's hard to believe, right? I don't want to believe he did it either. I'm even hoping that the two missing people will appear out of nowhere. He did it? What? No, we shouldn't doubt Hyrie. We don't have enough evidence. But okay. This is new. He's a Batsu user. I mean, he's been given a lot of crap and he hasn't used it before. Like, if he can use Batsu. He's shown lots of restraint. Yes, it really is hard to believe. I want to believe he'll never do such a thing. I want to believe that too. Oh wait, this is Byakuya's line. I want to believe that too. What's strange is that Shinimizu Spring showed no signs of change. Then again, that would be a problem. What Tsukiyomi said wasn't a lie then. That's why I'm wondering now what to do. Huh? But Himika said mother back then. Back then, I surprised even myself. When I called him mother. Yes, I am her first child. The first. Now, okay, so I think Hiriko was like actually the first child, right? Like in mythology. So, or maybe, But I was sent adrift on the ocean on a boat made of reeds, deformed and unwanted.
Then from the other world came the outsider Hiriko, on a boat made of reeds.
He is Hiriko! I am Hiriko. All my strength left me at once. He was right. This was all too sudden. But perhaps it wasn't. Come to think of it, he had never been normal by any standards. Maybe I simply neglected it all along. You're Lord Hiriko? Just call me Himika. Yeah, it's gonna get weird. I mean, like, it kind of rhymes. Hiriko, Himika. I'd rather the people not know. Besides, I do like this name. Really? Then I'll keep calling you Himika. Good. Again. I wondered why. We had a lot of complaints for Hiriko, so this is kind of weird. We're talking to the man himself. Are you responsible for asking to build a giant shrine gate? What's that for? Every so often, I saw that sad smile on his face. I know I'm not imagining things, but I didn't know how to ask him what it meant. There's much more to it, but if I tell you everything at once, it'll only get confusing. I suppose you're right, but you're really Lord Hiriko? Looks like your clothes are about to dry. Well, this is awkward. He's like super old, right? Well, if that's true, then that means he must have spoken with Doma before. Wait a minute. If he's Lord Hiroko, then he's the one who created this island? Don't worry about it. But even though I look young, I'm much, much older than you. Huh? If that's true, then exactly how old is Lord Hiroko? Himika? You're gonna get with an old man. He was sent away by his mother, Izanami, which means he came from beyond the ocean? I tried my best to accept what I just heard, but my mind still couldn't catch up. But then, why would Izanami be sleeping in the Shinimizu Spring down in Yomi? The more I thought about it, the more questions I had. I want to ask him more, but he's right. I don't think I can wrap my mind around it all now. I took a long, deep breath. Himika is Lord Hiroko. That's all I need to know for now. I'm sorry, I know it's a lot to take in. But I'm not lying to you at all. I believe you. Don't worry, I believe you. I believe you! You don't have to rush or anything, but I'd love to hear more next time. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. I could tell he was in low spirits. But I was sent adrift on the ocean on a boat made of reeds, deformed and unwanted. Is that why Himika is always looking down on himself? I pushed that possibility to the back of my mind. I mean, what's deformed about him? He's just a tiny guy. I can't just tell him to forget about it after all this time. Or maybe, like, he's deformed and that he's, like, a failed god. Like, because in mythology, like, Hiroko, like, since he was deformed, like, they didn't consider him a deity. Well, anyway, I can't just tell him to forget about it after all this time. What needs to be done first is... Himika, I have an idea. I know I said earlier that I wouldn't tell anyone, but let me make one correction. Why don't we tell Akaza and Karoba so we can ask for their help? Huh? I mean, you kind of failed to ask Akaza and, like, Karoba for help before. Like, hello? You didn't even tell them about Kanon and Nagusa. I don't want to doubt him, but... we can't just leave Hyrie alone out there, right? Right. Assuming he really... Afraid to say more, I stopped. I wouldn't believe it. Not yet. To be honest, I don't want to believe it's him. I'm just hoping it's a coincidence and that the missing two are found somewhere. And I also don't want to believe that such a young child could be the executioner. Yeah, kind of odd that, yeah, like, he's super young. They let him wander around, and, like, he's so full of, like, hatred. And, like... I find it weird that he would execute people in Yomi. I feel like his bubbling hatred, if he did have the power of Batsu, he would just turn around and just, like, use it on his abusers. That would be too cruel. Yes, you're right. But if they're not found, then the suspicions surrounding them will only grow. Without the truth, it'll never end. I think it'd be best if we could all work together to resolve this as soon as possible. But... don't worry, you can trust Akaza. Do you love that man? Not in this route. Huh? Not at all. Not even close. He's like the last option. Byakuya is so stubborn. He's like, you're the last man I'm gonna marry. But we should let him know regardless. Why don't we go and see him now? Now... Himika stared at me quietly. Wonder why he looked so sad. You're not comfortable in a crowded place like the Kotowari. I can go and talk to him first. No. Huh? Himika suddenly grabbed my clothes and quickly ran for the door. Oh, were you thinking of something else? Huh? Himika? Where are you going? Don't leave here. Huh? What? Himika? I don't want you to go outside. Alright, but, what are you going to do with my blast skirt? Oh, he's holding our clothes hostage. Okay. You're safe here, so don't go out. Himika? Are you gonna take my clothes so I can't leave? Wait! And then he leaves with our clothes. Despite my pleas, he quickly slammed the door behind him. Okay. We're like naked and vulnerable. Did he just lock me in here? It won't budge! I took a few deep breaths and gently knocked on the door. Himika, you're just playing around, right? I'm not playing. I took another deep breath. Himika, I'm not angry, so please open the door. I'm gonna go and see what Hyrie is doing, so you stay there. I mean, come on, this is not entirely like a safe place. Himika? Himika, open the door! I promise I won't hate you. I'm not angry, which is why I'm yelling. You can hate me all you want, just stay there. If my intuition is right, you're his next target. But wouldn't he have like done something at the Sundial Plaza? Or is he waiting for us to be alone? Cause yeah, we're kind of alone now. Huh? Nothing defiled is able to enter this place. So for the time being, you should be safe. I mean, if nothing defiled is able to enter, why are you saying that you're defiled? and yet you can enter this place. Defiled? I looked at the door again and realized there's no keyhole anywhere. It didn't seem as though there was anything blocking the door from outside either. It's just magic. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, but you really shouldn't go near that boy anymore. Himika, you're just worried about me, right? I'm sure there are other ways to keep me safe. Now, the heavenly spirit is a bird without feathers, unable to take flight, exposed. What do you say? What did he just say? I'll be going now. Huh? Himika, wait! Please, you have to listen to me! It's no use. I'm gonna have to break a window. I looked around the house. I know. I should be able to escape from the window. Huh? I can't open it. But why? It was like there was something barring the shutters. No matter how hard I tried, the window remained shut. It's really no use. What an impossible situation. I gave up on trying to escape and sat down on the pelt rug. He took my clothes. If he could just lock the door, he could have just left our clothes here, right? Like, he didn't have to do that. If my intuition is right, you're his next target. Himika, I know there's a lot happening right now, but couldn't you have explained things a little more? Despite my situation, I knew he wasn't doing this out of malice, so I wasn't angry or sad at all. That's right, Daifuku! Did we bring Daifuku with us? We haven't, like, really seen him in a while. He had been with me ever since that night he wandered into the manor. Are we gonna try to telepathically communicate with him? I'm sure he'd be worried if I didn't return. As for Doma, maybe he'll feel slightly uneasy. I mean, yeah, he's supposed to be the guardian for you. Of course you'd feel uneasy. Like, even though it's very heavily implied that, like, he's probably your dad, so if he is, he's probably very concerned. I know it was wrong to think it, but I wouldn't mind worrying him, even if it was only a little. It was my childish attempt at revenge. I still have my deliveries tomorrow. You will be missed. I'm pretty sure people will be looking for you. It's not budging at all. I guess all I can do is wait for Himika to come back. I let out a sigh and looked around the house again. You wouldn't leave us alone for like a super long time, right? We gotta eat. So, Himika is Lord Hiroko. Lord Hiroko? Gotta chew that information down. I've met Hiroko before, so I'll give him this letter. He just keeps the letter. Ah! That was a terrible thing to say back then. I was speaking ill of Lord Hiroko, not knowing it was actually Himika. Then I showed him that letter. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Himika. I love you a lot, really, but I can't be your husband. I'm not fit to be your mating partner. Did he say that because he's Lord Hiroko? But he's the most respected existence on this island. Or is it because he's an outsider? In addition to my anxiety, I was beginning to feel a hopeless sorrow. Things would be much easier if he simply told me that he hated me. He can't be my husband. As I spoke the words aloud, I felt an ache in my heart. All at once, my last remaining strength left. He can't. I wrapped myself in the fur and lay on the floor in silence. Next chapter. The sweetest fruit. Oh. What is the sweetest fruit? Hopefully we get some romance soon. Okay, we have some revelations here. I kind of suspected he was Hiroko. You kind of act a little dodgy every time we mentioned Hiroko. But yeah, we'll have to find out more in the next episode. Been going for a while. I have places to be. I have to go to family dinner. Yeah, I should have expected this to take an hour, but... Alright, anywho. Yeah, things are getting a little bit dramatic. We have murders happening. Hyrie is a suspect. I did not expect him to be able to use Batsu. Even though I was like, oh, he does have blue hair. Like, maybe he can use Batsu. But I kind of, like, rationalized it. Like, why would... If he was able to use Batsu, I felt like they would have made him a noble. But maybe his hair was too bright. And it's very odd that they just let him wander around. Given that he's... Yeah, given, like, all the vitriol he says and spews. Like, why would you let him wander around in that state? They could be cruel and just, like, keep him locked up and be like, hey, executioner, do your job. I guess he could escape too himself. I don't know, how powerful is Hyrie? Like, he's probably not Himika's level. Is he, like... Did they mention the executioner being, like, a little bit weaker than Riku? I don't remember. Anyway, Babylon. Alright, let's end things off here. I hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.